So we're continuing to talk about the chapters in this book right here, Capture Meeting Notes to SharePoint using PowerApps. So we've gone through, if you want to buy this book, it's $2.99. Just go to Gumroad and take a look. This is the ID that you want to look for. But if you don't want to buy the book, that's okay. You can just pause the video here and you can see the video links here that kind of group everything together for you. So the book does nice because it shows you the step-by-step instructions and groups everything in order, but you could do it just if you pause the video, I guess. But look for these, run these videos. You can see they're on each one of these chapters in the book. So today, and here's delete. Today we're going to talk about save changes after an edit. So let's jump right to it. So again, in the book, you're going to get the code that you can copy, and we're going to actually be talking about putting in some code today. So it might just be easier for a couple bucks, but here is what we're going to do. We're going to add this save button to our gallery. So we've been working on this gallery, building this note application here, and we've added the delete button, which we did last time, but we need to save. So when we make a change here, we want to save the changes to the list, to the SharePoint list. Okay, so we're gonna wire that up right now. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and add the save icon, and we're gonna rename it to Save Notes. Let's just go ahead and do that real quick here. So remember, for this activity, notice that we're outside of the gallery. We're not inside the gallery, okay? So don't worry about going inside the gallery. Just go to screen 2 there and say, I want to hit a save button. All right, and let her rip right there. And there it is right there, okay? So I'm going to change it because I like my save button to be green, because green is good, go. That's what we want for save, good and go. Okay, and we're just going to keep it that size because it really doesn't matter. All right, let's go back. So here we got save. We've redone it as green. Oh, and we're going to change what it says here. So we're just going to put in right here. We're going to put in button save. Okay, so you can name it anything you want. I like to name things most of the time. As you can see, I've been doing it a little bit on this, but it's just a good practice to get into. Okay, so what we're going to need to do is this data that you see on the screen, right? Mickey Mouse and Disneyland. This data exists within a table. So if we just go and make some changes here, and we don't do anything for it, those changes are just going to go away, right? They won't get saved because we don't have an action to save it. What we need to do is compare this field against the field, the table or the list. And to do that, we're going to look at the list. So to view the list from within PowerApps, let's just go ahead and click this bad boy, hit go, and hit edit data. Now we could just go up to our list and go there, but we're not going to do that. Okay, so here, Mickey Mouse, Disneyland, notice there is no data there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go back. We have the save button. Let's go back to our document. We've got that. Okay, and we've seen what it looks like in SharePoint. Okay, so now we're going to go into the actual gallery itself. So we've got the save button, but we got to do this comparison right here. So we're going to go back to here, all right, to our tree view. We're going to go to the gallery itself. We're going to make sure we click on that guy right there, all right, and we're going to enter in. We're just going to put in a toggle, all right, boom, okay, and we can put this toggle anywhere. I usually just kind of set it over one of the fields because we're not going to use it. And then I just turn it off. So go over here to visibility, click off. Okay. So we're going to get to it from here. And the key thing here is the toggle has to be in the gallery. Okay. Toggle has to be in the gallery. And that's why we did that there. Insert toggle. And there's the toggle. And I don't know if we show, but we say turn visibility off. Okay, now we're going to program the toggle itself. So let's look and see what this is. Okay, we're going to copy this code right here. Now, if you purchase the PDF, you can do this too. All right, so we're going to copy the code here. There's the toggle right there. Now, where do we need to put it? We need to put it in the default. So this is the code right here, but do you see it right here? B and C. B and C, this is the name of those fields, right? So text title number 1, that's the name of that field. Notes 1, CC, get it, BB, all right? And we're going to be in default. So just follow the screens and the letters and numbers. The letters are for reference. Numbers are for following along. And we're going to go down here and we're going to go to default. Okay. So our default right now is set to false. We're going to go ahead and paste that in. Although, as you can see, it's not going to work because we don't have those names right here. Okay. So we have this box right here, which is called text action. Notice that it says title instead of action. So I'm going to change that to text title. And it's important that you remember that you label these, because when you're, I'll show you here in just a minute, when you're in there building up the save and the patch stuff, you want to make sure you're saving it to the right places. Okay, so there we go. That's title. And then that's notes, not action. So I'm going to change this to text, notes, and we're going to give it a 2. So we have 2 of them right here, but we're still faulting out, right? But we know now what we have. We have notes here, we have there, and I'm going to change this just so we can see the differences. I'm going to change that to green, okay? So notes are green, title's orange-ish, reddish, whatever color that is. All right. So we're going to, if we don't know where the toggle is, like, oh my gosh, I lost the toggle. It's right there, toggle. And that's why I like to use the toggle, because it's a unique icon over there, and I never, then I don't freak out. Okay. First of all, we don't need this false in there. That's one thing we don't need. And if we go back to the code here, we can see the code, and we're kind of explaining what these things are, right? A is the toggle, 2, right? And 3, and then we post that in there. But let's go back there and take a look. All right. Text title 1. Now, why is it not showing red? Well, the reason why it's not showing red is because those things, see, text title 1, are in here, okay, in a different screen. So you have to be aware that you want to make sure that the gallery you're working on, which is gallery 2, has, and these are wired to that gallery, okay? So when you look at this, you say, okay, well, there's title in there. What is title? Oh, right there. I named it the name of the field. So I know that the name of that field is text title number 2. So I'm just going to change that. Okay, not 12, 2. Okay, and it took it, no problem. And then with my notes, it was notes 1, and now I name it notes 2. Okay, so we got away with the red line is gone. So we're good to go with that step. So that is, so just remember, if you're doing a bunch of these, and you can look up some other videos that I have on this topic, the patch command goes far and wide. So we're just dealing with text fields here. But if it was a value, you'd put a value. If it was a date or a drop down, you use selected date or selected dot value. There's lots of variations of this patch, and I have videos on my YouTube channel that you can look it up. You can also just do this, and if you get something wrong, you can copy and paste this into like ChatGPT, and it'll help you fix it as well. So, okay, so let's go ahead and go to the next screen. So there's the code. Now we need to wire up the save button. So here's the code again for the save button. So we're just going to copy this. And you can look at this. This is the name of the gallery. This is the name of the toggle, right? So it's saying, I want you to filter through the gallery of all the items, and what equals toggle 1's value, which is the toggle we set up. If it's equal to true, fine. If it's not equal to true, so it's equal to true, we just move on. If it's not, then it patches it. So notice that I'm patching, just like it did when I was adding records. I'm patching the SharePoint record here, SharePoint file, with the record, this record that you're selected on, okay? And I'm taking title equals whatever text I find in this field, and the notes field, these are the columns in my list, and with whatever this text field is. Notice that's text title 1 and notes 1. Okay, and we're going to use this code again in there. Now, again, another good reason to buy the book for $2.99. You don't have to retype all this stuff. But okay, so let's go up to our save button, and that's on select. And again, if you don't know where it is, it's right there, number 3 on select. All right, and we're just going to paste that in. Now, again, this is working because we have gallery 1 and these values are all true. So let's go ahead and change this to our gallery. So we're going to double check, because what you don't want to do is have this be wrong and then start saving data over something that you're not supposed to do, right? So gallery 1, nope, it's gallery 2 that we're dealing with. Whoops. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to change that bad boy to gallery 2. It pops up. That's good. Now we're going to look, what's our toggle name? It's toggle 2. So we're going to go ahead and change it to toggle 2. Thank you very much. We're still patching flow notes to this record, so that's good. And then we're going to say number 2, right? Because we have text title 2 right there and text notes 2. And notice they're both text entries, so we're good to go there. Okay, so now let's go ahead and test this. So we're going to go ahead and run it. Usually we'd save it. It looks like it's saved. So here we're just going to put in Disneyland, and we're going to put in a bunch of H's. We're going to hit save, and it's going to, what it's doing is it looks down through for any of the fields that are different or off, and then it saves that field. And if we do a refresh here, oh, we didn't have to right there, H. So the information passed over with no issue. Again, we can just delete it, and then we just go up here and we hit save.